We'll get to the rink in just a moment. Daren Millard with Nick Kypreos, Damien and back with us because we know that there's not going to be any lockout
demand
after yesterday's events in New York City. PK Subban, you are a man that's been through this whole World Junior distraction. Get your thoughts in just a moment. But a team that's won 16 straight, going up against a hockey club that has these players that have been named to the evaluation camp, is it distracting, or does it help that you're going up against a team that's running away with it right now?
Well, first of all, to go 16-0. That's impressive. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, like Nick said, with Max Domi added to that line, it's changed the whole dynamics of that team and really given them some offensive flair. But, I mean, when you look at players like Ryan Strome, I mean, I've skated with this guy in the summer. He's a top talent. I mean, coming back as a 19-year-old, you know, even though they lost last year, this is a 19-year-old tournament. And I think that he's going to come back on fire. And it can be a little bit of a distraction. I think you know that people are watching, and you can really jumpstart the camp if you go into the camp on fire.
What about Brett Ritchie? He's a guy that hasn't played for Team Canada at the under-20s before.
Yeah, and I think that he's got a real chance to make this team. I watched him in Guelph when he played, and he was running around. He made some big hits, and he's got an act for finding the net. I think that he's one of those players that if he does make the team, he can be the difference in the tournament. And, you know, you talk about guys like Ryan Strome, you know, that are superstars, but this guy, you know, he can make that difference in those tight games that come World Junior.
Does it bother you that we show clips of Richie scoring on your brother?
No, that's fine. I mean,
was that on purpose?
I don't know, but there's some shenanigans going on.
I know Malcolm knows both of the Ritchie brothers pretty well, so I don't think he minds. He probably let him score there, to be honest with you.
Very charitable.
You know, what's going to be interesting?
For boys, we love them, but they tend to get a little carried away. And Matt scores, and it's Ryan Rupert
that's how you stir the pot.
Who jumps in.
No, that's how you stir the pot. I mean, you know,
right here,
nice goal.
Right,
there's no need for that, right? And you know what? Going into the second period, you talk about the 16-game winning streak that they got on the line here. You want to keep it going. You got a 2-0 lead. All it takes is for something like that, you know. And I can tell you one way I would handle it. I mean, those type of plays, it's great to have those type of players on your team because they can spark things. But sometimes...
Well, somebody should have went after him.
Yeah, but no, because I don't believe in that. I don't think you should go and jump the guy. If you believe in playing hockey fair, I believe you wait for the opportunity and you get him back clean. You sleep on him a little bit. Let him know, let him feel like he's gotten away with it.
Like you and Brad Marchand.
Well, that's an example. I mean, you know, I think that he's a great player. He does a lot of great things on the ice. But sometimes when you're going to do things to my teammates, I'll wait and I'll get you back at the right time. And it's a clean hit. You got to do it clean, though. You can't do anything dirty. You got to do something that's going to command respect from both your teammates and the other team.
The problem is, though, sometimes those hits are far and few.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's difficult to get a hit like that.
You got to be patient.
You got to be patient.
You got to be patient.
I'm not the most patient guy.
What would you have done?
I'm not the... Well, I certainly wouldn't have done what Niagara did and say nothing.
Skate
away.
And I'm not saying that you have to be...
Dougie hit him by the bench. You know, he didn't say anything.
No. At that moment, did you see Niagara respond to the cross-check?
No,
they turned their backs and they didn't say a word to him, and that can't happen. I'm sorry. I'm not saying everybody's tough. Everybody doesn't need to drop the gloves, but you certainly have to get in his face and you say, you cannot touch my goalie.
Do you grab him? Do you jump him? What do you do?
Weren't you the guy that was falling on goalies?
Yeah.
That was another time in my life.
And a question for you, sir. When was the last time you just flew under the radar?
You know what? Okay,
Quietly.
listen. Yeah. Hey, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. Like, if I was in front of the net there and I watched somebody cross-check my goalie, I probably would have grabbed him. But the right thing to do is to wait, be patient, and don't hurt your team.
At least talk to him.
You could say something
Have
to
a
him.
word?
But
Have
I would just
a word.
Stare at him.
I'll save my
Give him the
questions
Scott
for you,
Stevens
Damien,
stare.
for the
Give him
second
stare.
intermission. 2-goal advantage after 1, 2 goals after 2, 3-1 for London over Niagara.
Still
Daren
got my
Millard.
team.
Still got a chance.
Still in it, PK.
Yep, still in it. Brett Ritchie and all.
This is your, second time in the studio? You've already learned to interrupt. Nice. Nick Kypreos, PK Subban, and Damien Cox. Right place when it comes to lockout experience. Nick Kypreos experienced 2 work stoppages as a former player in the National Hockey League. PK Subban going through his first lockout.
Feels like 5.
It does? Well,
Yeah.
Damien Cox has gone through 5
Covered 5 of these.
And you were in New York this week for all the theatrics. The statement that we see from Bill Daly, Deputy Commissioner of the National Hockey League, no new ideas. How does that make you feel?
The same. I mean, we've been going through this for, 7 months now? And it's been the same of the same. I mean, a lot of discussions, a lot of commotion, a lot of emotion, but ultimately we end up moving forward.
All right, well, hang
At
on.
some point we move forward.
Let's get down to basics. Could you live with that agreement or that proposal as we saw it? Could you live with it?
It's not about me. It's not about me.
It's about every individual.
It's about every individual, exactly. 700 players in the league. And this deal is not about PK Subban. It's not about Sidney Crosby. It's not about Carey Price. It's about getting a deal done that's suitable for 700 players. So, yeah, maybe I like the deal. Maybe I like the contract length. Maybe I like the variance. Maybe I like free agency. But that doesn't matter. It's got to be what's best for the 700 players and the players coming after us.
And I don't believe for one second that we're far apart. I believe that we're as close as we've ever been. And when you look at the three key elements here that is keeping the league away from a deal, it's length of contracts, the term on the CBA, which is length, and transitional issues like where do we set the cap and who gets to buy out and does it go against the cap or not. Transitional issues, I believe that the players shouldn't fight too hard on. They should probably accept whatever the case is. But when you talk about max contracts and the length of max CBAs,
exactly.
We're now going to cancel a season over that. For me to hear now Bill Daly saying that we will die on the hill on that, I'm sitting there going, you're at 5. You guys are at, what, 8? And we can't find 6 or 7 and call it a day?
Do you think people will be surprised? And they don't have any ideas, and we're dealing with this limited time period. It makes you wonder whether or not he's going to be here for the entire winter.
No,
or not.
No, he's not going to be here for the entire winter. No,
declared that?
That's not going to happen.
And the main reason is because you're scared he's going to take your job here.
No,
this is what you call going coast to coast, and the goaltender gets the first assist.
Little sizzle, coast to coast, Bobby Orr style, baby. Watch the celly, get down.
Sort of what I was saying.
Boom, there it is. Friday night, baby.